our UFL MVP rankings, right? I've had 5, I've had 4, I've had 3. This week I've had 4, right? Number 4 on the list, start right away with John Lovett, San Antonio Brahmas tailback. He rushed for over 150 yards in their in their loss against the DC Defenders. It feels like they're really asking him to carry the load in the backfield. I can understand that. Wade Phillips being a defensive coach, don't turn over the ball, right? A.J. Smith coming to understand the guy from Baylor can absolutely be that guy that they need to carry the load, and frankly is the best tailback in the UFL, in the XFL conference, right? Full stop. I would make an argument that Ricky Person might be that guy that could challenge him on the USFL side, but when you're talking about putting the ball in somebody's belly and getting hard yards, John Lovett is that guy. Number 3 on the list, guy that I'm very excited about, and I've been waffling about putting him on the list for some time, Jake Bates, kicker in Michigan. Like I mentioned him once before already, but I'm going to continue to mention him for the rest of the season because it always felt kind of odd to put a specialist on an MVP list. But when you see what it means for them to know that if you get past the 50, he's going to give you a shot, I can't tell you what that does in a league that allows for 2-point to 3-point conversions, but no PATs, right? And where the kickers have been so good. Like the other guys that he's competing against are a Lou Groza Award winner in Andre Schmidt, who's over at St. Louis. Matt McCrane, who was all Big 12 first team at Kansas State. Both those guys are 12-14, just like Jake Bates, who hadn't kicked a field goal since high school, shows up here, and he is absolutely bringing out the 5-wood and crushing. Just outstanding what he has done for the Michigan Panthers. Then I got to talk about A.J. McCarron, St. Louis Battlehawks quarterback, a guy that asked for his release from the Cincinnati Bengals because he wanted to play in this league. He's got small kids. He wants to show them that dad absolutely was that guy at Alabama and is absolutely that guy for the St. Louis Battlehawks. And I can't express what it means for me to know that A.J. McCarron is the guy. Because in this league, you're not always sure. As a man that's been covering spring football for 3 years, I can tell you, the quarterback position, changeable. If you got one, you hold on tight to him, and usually you get by. Sometimes you have an injury, and then you got to introduce yourself to a dude that perhaps nobody's ever seen, or a guy that you took on a look, not on a guy that you know could play. But A.J. McCarron has been that guy for Anthony Beck and the St. Louis Battlehawks since they formed the franchise back up. And he is taking great advantage of whatever it is that is working on that offense. If it is the run game, cool. I will hand it to the tailbacks. They got 2 100-yard rushers, the only franchise with those. If it is the wide receivers, cool. Hakeem Butler, 6'6", 250. He'll go up and get it. Ja'Cour Pearson, Mighty Mouse. He's going to make it happen. Darius Shepard, who's the best specialist return man when he's healthy in this league. I'll get him the ball too. Really great distributing. It looks a lot like what it looked like when he was actually Alabama playing quarterback, where it's my job is to play point guard and get the ball out to these playmakers. He's doing that at a tremendously high rate. And then number 1 on the list, the most valuable player in the league for me, Adrian Martinez. The Stallions averaged 35.5 points per game in his last couple of starts. He's thrown for 300 yards in 2 of those 3 starts. He's thrown for 350. He's rushed for 150. He is second in the league in rushing, and he's only ran the ball 31 times, okay? It is the man that wanted the opportunity to show the NFL I can throw the ball down the field, and he has done that. Like his deep balls to Kelvin Austin this year, to Deion Kane this year, have been outstanding. And he's taking advantage of guys like Jay Sternberger coming across the middle, got that big body and those big hands to reel in catches. They look like a dominant offense when Adrian Martinez is on the field. And that's no shade to Matt Corral, who's an outstanding quarterback. But you get what I mean when you can see a guy who is decisive with the football, who is taking what the defense will give him, who's unafraid to rush for 150 if you want to take away the pass, and throw for 360 if you want to take away his legs. As a defensive coordinator, that would scare the hell out of me because this guy's just going to make me wrong. Even if I'm in the right defensive set, he's going to find a way to beat me. That is how I define an MVP. And, not for nothing, but this would be the second year in a row that the Birmingham Stallions had an MVP who also played quarterback. And the last time that happened, they won a championship.
If you like what you've seen, consider subscribing to the #1 college football show on YouTube, the Fox Sports app, or wherever you get your podcast.